My name is Inaya. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. I'm super excited for this video that I've planned for you guys today. Also super excited to be back. The gym has truly done so much for me, and fitness in general has done so much for me, and not in a way where it's just about my body. Of course, it did so much for my body and how I look, but it has done so much for me mentally, and honestly, it just spills over into every other part of my life. It teaches discipline, it teaches hard work, pushing past your limits, and I just feel like there's so much that the gym has done for me outside of the gym. And that is why I am having this segment, Beyond the Lift. So I had this segment before on Instagram. If you have followed me for a while on Instagram and TikTok, I used to do Beyond the Lifts as like I used to do Beyond the Lifts as as reels. And then I stopped. And now I want to pick it back up and make it a YouTube series. I'm a yapper. You'll quickly learn that. And I'll be able to really get in depth and touch topics that I feel like are very important and have been crucial turning points. Beyond the Lift. One of my followers on Instagram actually gave that name for me, and it's just so fitting because it's beyond just lifting the weights, what the gym has done for me. And yeah, that's what this series will be, Beyond the Lift, and this is episode 1. So today's topic for the Beyond the Lift, I'm just going to speak about basically the timeline of from December up until now. I've had a lot of things happen in this time frame, and I also have changed in ways for the better. And I just want to talk to you guys about what I've learned. So I also because I disappeared during this time period, if you follow me on Instagram, you would know. And also I disappeared on here. I feel like I explained, I did, but I never really got into depth about it because I felt like I wasn't maybe ready to. So I'm just going to touch on some of the things that happened during this time. A complete mental transformation. And yeah, so let's just get into it, right? Let's just get into it. So that December last year, let's talk about the beginning of the month. I wasn't happy. I haven't been happy for a long time. And I feel like I would pretend because I'm like, okay, if I pretend, I will just magically one day actually be happy, when it doesn't work that way. I was working at a gym that I've worked at for a long time. And I felt stuck, but my loyalty kept me there. And although there were things that were continuously happening for months that was showing me why I need to leave, I'm a Leo. And the loyalty, I have a hard time letting people go, even if it's harmful to me. That's my problem. That's my problem. I'll be worried about everyone else except myself. And I wasn't even aware, or I didn't even realize the damage that it was doing to me as a person, and how I showed up. And when I think about it now, it's scary, because I had a very close relationship with the owners of this gym, and I was in such a rut. Nothing felt like it was going right at all. My social media, everything. And I would go to them for advice, or not even advice, just venting. I don't really know where I'm going wrong. I don't know. But the problem was them, and I didn't even see it. And slowly, true colors started being revealed, and I started putting pieces together, and I started backing away. And then December 14th happened. Never forget it. I'll never forget. I was driving. Basically, someone switched lanes, flipped my car, hit into me, and flipped the car I was driving over and totaled it. And when I say flipped over, I mean I got out of my feet were on the roof, completely upside down. Scariest moment of my entire life. Yeah, scary times, but that happened, and it just completely changed everything, because totaled the car. I already was just not feeling in a good place, and I just fell into a dark, deep depression. Like I had lost myself and didn't even realize it. I just didn't know who I was. And a relationship, a really bad relationship I was in a few years ago, an abusive relationship, is what I feel like that's when everything started changing, and I got out of the relationship, but the damage was still there, and I never dealt with it, and I didn't even know the damage was there. But that's another topic for another episode. Yeah, so this happened. I couldn't get to any clients. I couldn't work. I couldn't train. I was injured for a bit, so I definitely couldn't train, but I didn't even have any desire. I also couldn't get there without spending money that I didn't have. So I just felt helpless, hopeless. You know, stuff like for insurance and getting money, like all of that takes time. And it's like what I do it every single day. So yeah, I just fell into such a dark place. I was drinking every single day. Like, I feel like I've never been this depressed. Like, I feel like maybe I have, but yeah, I was low, and I was drinking like insane amounts to just cope with the pain, to just get through every day, because I was literally just sitting, staring out at the wall, like sleeping all day. Like, it was that bad. I completely stopped on my social media, was falling off with my clients. Like, I have online clients and I would cater to them, but I am who I am, like, when I'm vibrating high, not depressed. So I feel like I wasn't coaching to the best of my ability, and everything was just felt like it was going to shit. And then one day I'm like, damn, truly, it's either like I'm ending it here or I have to figure it out, because I can't keep living like this. Like, there's no way I can go on like this. And I chose to try. I sat down with myself. I had a lot of time to sit down with myself and really think, like, how did I get here? Besides the accident. Because again, I was depressed and just not feeling like I was truly walking in my purpose, even though I was doing the things. Like, it's so hard to explain, because there were parts of my life and people and places that I was still holding on to that I needed to let go of. So fast forward a little bit, mid-January, probably a month after the accident, I still was struggling and depressed, but trying to go back to the gym. And then when I went back, and I got a certain reaction from the owners who didn't check on me. And after that, I was like, you know what? Inaya, it's time. Like, and I knew it's been time for like the past year. But I'm like, you know what? Like, now's the time to just step out, because it just wasn't worth, like, the suffering. And I started realizing, like, oh, wow, I'm so unhappy here. And I feel like I was in denial about it before. But the more I saw the true colors, the easier it was to process and accept. That it was just the best decision for me, because of how much, like, I just can't believe how, like, tied down I was. And I believe everything happens for a reason. And usually it be taking extraordinary events for me to leave or let go of something, which is a mistake that I'm never making again. You said it's time to leave, God. I'm out. Bye. Bye. I promise you I'm never making that mistake again, because, yeah, it's just not worth it. If you have a gut feeling, listen to your gut. I feel like I spent a lot of years doubting my gut, not trusting my gut. And I feel like that started from the relationship, because it was so bad and I allowed myself to be in it. I didn't trust myself. And so that was my first step. Like, you know what? This is probably not the best time to quit a job. But it's time to step out and rely on me. I feel like I've strayed away from relying completely on me, putting all my eggs in my basket. Although I'm doing stuff in my field, like taking the risk on me, just my business and nobody else's. And that's what I finally decided to do when I left there. And when I say immediate burden lifted, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was like, oh, so I just needed to leave and then life was going to get better. Like, I could avoid it. And I feel like that's the way the universe works sometimes. And sometimes we need that push. Don't make God give you that push, because you might suffer more than you need to, or we're going to if you left when you got that first instinct. So, left there, and then I started focusing on me, on developing me. I took it very slowly. After being depressed and doing nothing, I gained so much weight. I was 160 pounds. And so my first step was getting myself back into my healthy habits. That was literally my first thing. Creating a plan and a structure for myself, not just in the gym, but outside of the gym. Doing little habits, putting in place little things that I know have helped me in the past feel good, do better. And that's where I started, picking myself up piece by piece. Morning routine, going for morning runs, making sure I really just started with the gym, just making sure I go to the gym. And for the start of my cut, I first, because I was eating just bullshit, I just started making food at home, cooking at home. That's the only change. I didn't start counting calories or anything. I just made sure I was eating clean. I wanted to ease myself back into it, and I didn't want to count calories right away. So just from me eating clean, that made a huge difference. I probably lost 15 pounds. Just doing that, making sure I'm going to the gym, getting in my cardio, following a workout plan, having a cardio plan, and then having a morning routine for myself to start off the day. Those were 3 things. Started losing weight, and then deeper into my cut about a month or so ago, I started counting my calories, because I feel like, all right, I've gotten to this point, but now in order to take this cut to the next level, because I feel like I started eating healthy again, and I started looking like myself, my normal self, where I was before the accident, and then it was time to cut. In the beginning, it was very difficult. Like, rebuilding myself from the ground up, that's literally what it felt like. I had to reframe my mindset. So from being in a funk and depressed and not wanting to be here, to drilling it into my head that I'm enough, that I have purpose, that I belong here, and then taking action. Just like I have to be disciplined in the gym, I also had to be disciplined with my habits, with how I chose to cope. And again, not gonna lie, of course, it was difficult. It's still difficult some days, but the more I kept up with it, the better. And one thing that changed my life was starting the day off with gratitude. Number one, I feel like during this time, something unlocked in my brain where I'm like, oh, I literally have to change my perspective. I have a terrible perspective. I have very low vibrating energy, and I need to change that. And so I would drill things into my head, drill the positive reinforcement, affirmations. I would do things that made me feel good. I would hang out with my family and the people that I loved. All of these things healed me. But I also took a lot of time and sat with myself to understand the root of the problem. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't do. After I got out of my relationship, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But I never dealt with that hurt and that pain. And so I had that hurt and that pain that I'm holding on to subconsciously. Then I have the hurt and the pain from everything that happened with the gym. And I had to release it. I had to let myself feel it. And I had to then let it go. After that, I found myself again. During this time, before everything happened at the gym, again, when I was still there, I just had a severe writer's block, content block. Like, I just felt uninspired. Like, I felt useless, honestly. And my social media was also going backwards. I couldn't understand. And the only reason why I couldn't understand is because I never sat down and really tried. I just complained that the world was against me and I just have bad luck, and I didn't do anything about it. I kind of just gave in. But in my head, I was trying because I was still showing up every day. But it takes more than just showing up. Your mindset is going to be your superpower. And something that I've always preached and always known, but maybe not fully understood, everything that I need, everything that you need is already inside of you. You just have to find it. And that's real. Any of the strength that I ever had and found, it was already there. I had to search for it and use it, but the power lies with you. So while this transformation was taking place and I was changing my mindset and realizing the power of positivity, the power of my words, the power of what I think, it all affects how you go about life, how you move about life, and also the presence that you carry. If you're always negative, most people will be able to tell that you're a negative person. Positive attracts positive. I worked very hard on reframing my mindset, studying, learning things about my brain, about myself. I really sat down with myself. Why am I unhappy? Why do I feel like I'm not walking in my purpose, but I am? Why do I feel so angry? Why do I feel so sad? Why do I feel so useless? I got down to the bottom of it. I got deep. And then I said, okay, I'm going to feel it. I let myself feel it. I let it out. And then I decided, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to heal. It's time to fix that. And by taking care of myself and spending time with myself, and not just in the gym, it's not just you go to the gym, oh, I took care of myself. Even taking time for yourself in the morning, a morning routine has changed my life. Not worrying about anybody else before I get my morning routine in. Being able to have that time to sit with myself, talk with myself. All of that is very crucial. Helps me show up for my clients and for my community as my best self. Because I never want to put out not my best self. And the thing is that before I was forcing it. Because I wasn't at my best self. So it wasn't resonating how it should. It didn't have the energy that it should. So not only wasn't I able to trust myself, but I also was dealing with fear. I used to be so fearless. I do not know when I became a scaredy cat. But I was scared of doing anything. And I was scared of counting on myself. And that was the lack of faith that I had. And so that's something else I focused on. Building up my faith so that it is unshakable. My mindset can't be broken. I focused on building a solid foundation, and it got me to where I am today. I swear the number one thing was the mindset shift. I suddenly started enjoying life again. I suddenly started feeling like myself again. I started dreaming big again, but also executing. And that's where I lacked, because executing takes action, and I was too afraid to take action. And that's going to be an important piece. Stepping out on yourself, believing in yourself. So what if you fail? You learn, and then you try again. You do it again and again until it works. Because when you believe in something enough, that energy, there's just no way it can't come to fruition. So I realized I truly had that mindset shift when I realized the things around me were still happening. I still didn't get my check for whatever happened. I was still struggling, but I was happy. So before, I'm miserable because all of these circumstances happening to me. I can't get a break. And now, despite life, I'm happy. I don't remember the last time I felt this good, this sure about my purpose. And it all started with shifting my mindset. Inaya, you keep saying shifting your mindset. How did you do that? Number one, I was determined. In the beginning, I had a lot of bad thoughts. Every time a bad thought came in, I would literally chase it with a positive thought. I would make sure, this is why the morning routine is important, I would make sure I'm starting my day off. This is my morning routine. I'm waking up. I am getting myself ready, not on my phone at all. Brushing my teeth, washing my face, taking care of myself, sitting with myself, clearing my thoughts. I sit down and I write in my gratitude journal. Life-changing. Start off the day with gratitude. There's always a reason to be grateful. Everyone's dealing with life. Everything is happening to everyone. And even if it may not look like it, it only doesn't look like it because of how the person is handling it. Life is going to happen regardless. So I could be miserable and life happen, or I could be happy. and life happens. And I just kept drilling that into my head. It's about how I react. It's about how I react. And every time something would come up, I would practice. It's about how I react. Even the smallest things. You practice, you practice, you practice. And eventually, it's not practice anymore. I'd be so surprised with myself sometimes with how I don't react to anything anymore. I hear the situation, I understand it, and then I decide what I can do to fix this. And if there's nothing I can do to fix it, what can I do for myself? And that's how I continue to go about everything. And I realize, like, I'm building my mental strength. Just like you lift the weights in the gym, you build your mental strength over and over and over and over and over for as long as it takes. And so now I'm this far in. It's June. Saturday, I went out with friends. Sunday, I had a day. And my cycle is coming. That's something also you should track your period, because it'll help you understand yourself. And if you understand, you can deal with it better. If you don't understand, you can't deal with it that well. So Sunday, I was feeling so shitty, and I haven't felt shitty in a long time. And I just felt shitty because Saturdays I try not to track, and I enjoyed myself and I had a good time, but I just felt like I didn't feel good. I was feeling a lot of self-doubt, and just old thinking patterns were creeping their way in, and I let myself feel it. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I fought it off as best as I could. And then this morning, I went extra hard in my morning routine. And now I'm having a wonderful day. I say that to say we're human. We're always going to be human. We're always going to have these moments. But it's how you handle them. And it's kind of a game. You have options. You decide. And another thing is, no one's coming to save you. I wanted someone to save me so bad because I didn't know how to save myself. But there's nothing more beautiful than saving yourself. And you are the only one who can truly do it. Because at the end of the day, I can't control anybody's mind, and nobody can control my mind. It's a decision that you have to make and you have to stick to. And it's a commitment. Every single day, I choose to be this way. And while it may seem more difficult in the beginning, as you are changing this mindset and your perspective, it will get easier. The negative will become less natural. And then you will see your life change right before your eyes. When you're grateful, when you express gratitude for what you already have, you are inviting more blessings to come in. When you have a mindset knowing that you have the power and you can do anything that you set your mind to, and there's nothing in this life that you can't go and grab for yourself. When you have that mindset and you are radiating that, not only will it attract these things, but you're going to be brave and confident enough to go get it. And that's the difference. Because when you have a mindset where it's like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't know, I don't really believe in myself, that's usually when things don't go great. And we can't sit here and expect anything to fall into our laps. We have to go and get it. It's not going to work that way. Like, oh, well, I have a purpose, so everything for me is going to come to me. That's true. As long as you're walking actively in your purpose, taking those steps. I was afraid to let go. I was afraid to trust myself. I'm telling you right now, making these decisions were the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I could not be more proud of who I am today and this journey that I went through because of how mentally strong I am. And I'm here to let you guys know, like, your habits, how you choose to move, how you choose to live. If you have a dream, you need to be actively working toward. Take the chance on yourself. If you're so miserable, what do you have to lose? And that's how I felt. Damn, at this point, what do I have to lose? Run. Run into your greatness, because it's literally just waiting for you. And I take everything that happens as a sign, as direction. I trust my gut. I listen to my gut. And now I just feel like the possibilities are actually endless. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for this turmoil that got me here, because I literally would not be who I am right now, which I'm so very proud of, if I didn't go through all of that. Everything happens for a reason. One verse that I held on to during this time was John 13:7, which is, Jesus answered and said to him, what I am doing you don't understand now, but you will know after this. I don't know what the hell is going on right now. I don't feel great. Nothing has changed, but I'm deciding to trust it. I'm deciding, okay, I may not understand right now, but eventually I will, and I'm going to keep the faith. And now I get it. I get it on such a deep level. And all I want to do is make sure that my community also knows. And yes, it's easier said than done. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard because you can't shape into the amazing, incredible person that you're supposed to be if it isn't hard. And also, the experiences you go through are for a reason. I feel like I can help people on a different level now because of what I've been through and what I experienced. And I created this video because I understand what it means to be in such a dark place. You feel so alone. Like, y'all, I was drinking full bottles of alcohol every single day, actively, low-key, trying to end it every single day. I went from being in that place, January, to being where I am now. I used to run to alcohol for everything, and now I never want it. I simply stepped into my power. I was sick and tired of not only people doubting me, but me doubting me. There's nothing in this life that you can't come back from. Let me be your testimony. Let me be your hope. It's just something as little as changing your mindset. Something that just sounds so little is so powerful. So if you are in this place and you're struggling and you are trying to get back to yourself, I would, number one, say sit with yourself. Figure out why you feel how you feel. Really get down to the root of it. Feel it and then let it go. Heal from it. When you start getting these bad thoughts, fight them with positive thoughts. Set a morning routine for yourself that doesn't include anyone else. Even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, that's enough. Don't go on your phone. Don't go on social media. Don't tend to anything except yourself. Start your day off with you. Take care of you. Spend time with the people you love. Eat healthy food. Cook for yourself. Of course, 80-20, enjoy life and work out. I'm telling you, those, I think I said 5 things, will change your life. I encourage you. I believe in you. If you are breathing, there's still a chance. There's still a way. It is never too late. And you can do anything that you put your mind to. Stop doubting yourself. Stop counting yourself out. Take action. Take control. Stop allowing other people to have the power. When you don't take control of how you respond, you give away your power. And the more you do that, the more you'll lose yourself. I kept giving away my power and giving away my power and giving away my power. And then I couldn't even find me. Reclaim your power. Reclaim your space. Heal, deal with your trauma. It's a process, and come out and be your baddest self. Boo. I feel so strongly about helping people recognize the power that they have within themselves. The more you work on yourself, the more confident you'll be in yourself, the more you trust yourself, the more you will step out on a whim on yourself, the more you'll put all your eggs in your basket and walk in your purpose. You are powerful and you are who you are for a reason. You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, and that is okay. There is more power in being who you are meant to be than trying to mold yourself into something that people want. This is America, and we're all humans, and everyone has different opinions. And so while there are people who are going to love you, there are people who are going to hate your guts. There are people who aren't going to like you, and that's fine. Let them. I also read that book during this time. Let them, and you be you. Because what's the point of this life if you can't be yourself? Okay, that has been what has happened and gone on between December and June. I don't play about me anymore. I don't play about Inaya Najah Webster anymore. And it's the most beautiful thing because I feel like I'm free. And I haven't felt like me in a very, very long time. And that is the end of my very first Beyond the Lift. If you guys have any questions, things that you want to hear about, please ask away in the comments. If this was helpful to you or useful for you, please let me know. Also, let me know if it was not. If you hate it, let me know too. I'll probably still do them. I mean, I am going to still do them, but I would love to hear you guys' feedback. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for my next YouTube. Love you guys.